look after obviously the women's side of things at the football club. Sort of the role is to sort of not just to probably look at elite players and that type of stuff. It's to obviously develop the community work as well, and obviously engage with lots of females that we have who come and access the football club. There's a lot of sort of stigma around that football clubs like ourselves, especially being on the Wirral, only want to deal with elite players, but that's not the case. You know, we like to work with kids and women and people from obviously other backgrounds and that who want to get into football. So that's my role really, is to develop and create a platform for females to come and enjoy and play football really. Yeah.
So you've come all the way through the system yourself, I suppose. So you can do that from experience. You've come through as a player, onto a coach, and then onto your current role. So can you tell us a little bit about coming through yourself and your background?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So I obviously played for the club from the age of sort of 19, 20 when I was at another club before I came to work here. So then I started playing. Obviously, you always wanted to sort of coach and be involved and sort of help develop people really. That's the passion for me really. Want to see people progress into just doing something that they enjoy doing and giving them the sort of the tools and hopefully some knowledge to get a bit better. So sort of from my role it was playing. I obviously enjoyed playing. I got an injury and then wanted to think how was I going to get back into football. So we created a reserve team back in the day as it was known, but we've since obviously a lot of football's changed where now it's more the development team. And then sort of from there we just sort of grew as a female club from sort of when Steve was manager from having one team to sort of an under-16 teams now right down to having under-10s and potentially having a few sort of younger teams. So for me it wasn't a massive step because I obviously already knew most of the players. Sort of going from playing to coaching, it can be a bit daunting and a bit of a big step, but I really enjoyed it and I like that challenge for myself, to try and challenge myself. And then it's sort of, now I've stepped away from being the manager of the first team but more to oversee, so it's another sort of development side for myself I suppose, and another challenge for me. And it is challenging because not when you're on the pitch every week or every weekend, to now sort of relaying those messages to coaches and that, now I expect things to be done. That's a challenge for me, but an enjoyable one really. Yeah.
So like, how do you think the women's game has developed since you were a player? Like to now in your current role?
Massively, to be honest with you, Tom. You know, we joke about it all the time and say like, oh, it wasn't like that in our day, and you know. And I'm sure there's players who've played in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, men I'm on about now, that they'll probably say the same, like the wages and everything else. And obviously from the women's point of view, it's like they're just starting to get that bit of a level playing field where it's just recognised as women who play football, enjoy it. They've gone. You've still got your grassroots, you've still got your social teams, but now and then you've got the Women's Super League and then the Championship and then the leagues and the structure underneath that. So it's better. I think there's going to be more opportunities again, probably in the next maybe 5-6 years. We could be sitting here saying that suddenly we've got 3 divisions instead of 2, you know, where they're more professional. Yeah, I can see that happening. And I think like I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for girls to be able to think, well, I've got a role model, I can go and play without getting laughed at by the lads. So I think it's massively changed that way. I think the coaching, there's obviously more females in coaching now than what there was when I first came here in this job, again, which is a massive bonus. And obviously opportunities, you know, at board level, chairman, obviously we've got Nicola ourselves here, which is massive. So I think there's more opportunities and there's more scope, I think, for it still to continue, you know. So yeah, it's going in the right direction, I'd say personally.
Yeah, definitely. So how much of like women's girls football, how important is that to our provision in general here at Trick and more generally to the club?
Yeah, I mean, obviously working for the football club, we've always had a big sort of delivery female football. Our school competitions, I mean, obviously there's a lot of talk around school competitions and the kids all having, or the primary schools having teams, but we've always had primary teams, we've always run the Wirral, or been involved with the Wirral school games, you know, for 30 odd years. So there's always been teams. I think people now are just highlighting it and recognising it more. We have had soccer schools with 150 girls on. You know, we still have the turn up and plays, which is full for next week, which is brilliant. But it's you know, those things have always been there for us as a scheme. We've always delivered those as a scheme. Now it's just being recognised. So I don't want that to sound negative in any sort of way, saying, oh, you're only doing it now. Well, it's not. It's something that as Tranmere Rovers in the community, we've always delivered. And in my opinion, I think we've always delivered it quite well, because we've all been passionate about female football in a roundabout way anyway, with obviously myself and Shirley playing, and then Steve being a manager at the time. So it's always been there. High school competition, it's always been there, you know, so I think it's just getting that recognition from the outside world, should we say. Okay. But I think females to this football club are important. I think, you know, we do have a lot of female staff. I think, like I said before, there's more opportunities. You know, we've even got, you know, we've had female physios working with the male side of the club, and rightly so, if they're good enough for the job. You know, why should we not do it? You know, so it's important, and I think it's important for our community as well to realise that this football club isn't just about men. You know, yes, it is probably where they all want to come and watch the footy over the weekend, but they've also got a club that cares about other aspects of the community as well, really.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. So you touched on it there really, but moving forward, what do you think needs to develop as we continue to progress?
Yeah, I think from the club point of view, I think we keep going. We still obviously look to deliver different types of programme, or diverse programmes, to engage with different people from different backgrounds, different communities, which is something that we're currently looking at to do, hopefully, with the Wirral Dean Centre. And obviously it's just making sure people know that that provision is there for them, you know, and what is out there for their daughters, or even for the ladies who come to our walking football session. You know, it's not just about the walking football session that we do once a week on a Tuesday. It's about what that creates for them socially, and for their mental health as well. So from my sort of perspective, really, it's to sort of continue to grow in all those areas, but also provide I'd say a platform where a sense of belonging, that it's normal to play football, it's normal to work in media if you're female, or be a chairman, or work on the board. It's just got to be seen as being acceptable, and if you're good enough, you can do the job, can't you? You know, so I think that's how I would sort of assess it now. I think sort of the bigger picture, obviously, England winning the Euros it's had a massive impact on girls, obviously, generally playing football. Personally, our wildcat sessions, we've increased them, so from having one, we suddenly have 4 a week, and that's off the back of them being able to see that it's reality, isn't it? You know, it's just they play footy, and that's what I want to do, and I'll give it a go. And them sessions, that's where they go, and they give it the best shot, don't they? You know, so it's there's a lot to it. And then, like I said before as well, about if you're good enough and you're elite, there's a level for you there as well. So there's a level for everyone, and it's just about giving them the opportunity and the tools to do it, really.